Hello everyone, a really nice place and happy to participate in this event. I hope you can hear me, everything is fine. So yeah, I present here Accenture company and maybe a few words about me, my experience. Yes, I am data scientist and I'm working as a data scientist at Accenture. Before that, I had some experience of the work as data scientist in banking area. I was working as data scientist in Finland Bank and was responsible for credit risk modeling. And this problem of threshold is very known for me very well. I know this pain. And also, of course, I'm reading lectures related with machine learning, related with artificial intelligence. But here I present Accenture and a few words about Accenture as a company. So, Accenture Baltics, office of Accenture Baltics was opened in 2002 in Riga, Latvia. And we operate in about 28 countries, deliver services for 280 customers in different industries. So we don't have some strict specialization. We deliver services in business process automation, in computer vision, and many different services. But we continue to grow, and we opened the office in Lithuania last year. And actually today I didn't know about it, but I have arrived to Vilnius. I have realized that I have here the colleagues, and they today have officially open office in Vilnius, Accenture office. So it's about us, our company. I represent Data Science and Machine Learning Guild, which operates as a part of Data and AI Specialty Track, which is the largest group in Europe, as a part of Accenture, of course, and a number of people has succeeded to 100, and we continue to grow. Regarding topic today, actually I was thinking what I could present today, because we have a lot of projects in different areas, different types of models and different types of services, and maybe I decided that like as the first presentation from Accenture would be better to show our vision of technology trends, our vision, not only our, but general vision of the trends in data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. To make it more general, maybe a bit global, not so practical, but still, if I have a time, I will show you some examples of our use cases. So let's start from technology vision. So Technology Vision, actually, it is a document which is created by Accenture labs and researchers on the base of regular surveys, which we run from year to year across, actually on global level, where we collect opinion of IT consumers and companies, leaders, C-level executors and directors about future opinion, what happened in the future, what do they consider as the most trendable. And this year, actually, yes, of course, maybe you should tell me that actually this trend is technology trend for 2022, and this year is over actually. Unfortunately, I cannot present you vision for the next year. We expect to get this vision in the next year in January, and if you wish, you could open to find it in our portal Accenture.com. It will be published there. So today we'll speak about still 2022, and this vision was built on the base of survey where have participated 24,000 consumers and more than 4,000 C-level executors and managers. I will skip this slide, just maybe start to speak about these trends. First of all, I should to tell you that actually these trends were formed under, how to say, tagline like "Meet me in the metaverse." Once metaverse was presented in 2021, it was taken into account by Accenture, and actually last 2 years the main trends which were identified more or less are related with metaverse, especially this 2022, and I have such guess that most probably next year we still will follow this trend related with metaverse development, because we see significant impact of this new technology development in our IT industry, and of course our area of data science and machine learning as well. What do we mean under metaverse? Of course, it's under development at the moment, but if we speak about the concept, we assume that it is like a spectrum of digitally enhanced worlds, realities, and business models which will change our life and which will change the business. Actually, quite a lot of words were related with impact on the business, and that business people, leaders, should think about changes of business models, because the life will be changed. People behavior will be changed. We will get new habits. We will be business approach will be changed under using these new technologies, this new reality. But now maybe I would like to stay a bit on these 4 trends which were formulated for this year, and they were titled like web meme, programmable world, the unreal, and computing is the impossible. Let's start from verb me, and actually I think that this tagline, like putting the me in metaverse, defined this trend. That first of all, we understand that metaverse Web3 development will bring us the new technology and new internet, and the main vision is that instead of the usages, internet is some collection of applications or some websites. The user will be moved to new environment where it will inhabit using this digital information. So the behavior will be changed significantly, of course. The next trend, I will skip some slides, so try to save the time. The next trend, which was defined, that programmable world, our planet, personalized. Of course, this trend is related with the previous one, that we'll get new environment, we'll get new reality, and then existing in this reality, we will meet with a lot of new opportunities, and of course, this world should be personalized under our how to say behavior, our opportunities, of course. And here we see also I would say great impact on our area as well, because definitely we consider that there should be developed new models which could automate the processes, which could program decision making, program many business processes, which could work personalized, taking into account our personal preferences and our personal data. So the programmable world will enable new ways to augment, customize, automate, alter, and otherwise program our physical environment. And of course, this trend defined a lot of tasks also for us, for data scientists and machine learning engineers. The next one, maybe just I don't have a time to tell everything what is represented on this slide, but just want to highlight that one of the announcements which was done, that one of manufacturer car and manufacturer announced that they will automate an assembly line using digital twin on the base of the platform of digital twin. They announced that it will happen in 2025. But why I decided to stay on that example, just because our team is already working under it. We are the part of this process now. Then the next one, the unreal. So basically here topic is related with synthetic. synthetic data, synthetic images, synthetic text, etc., etc. So, of course, working under programmable world development and building new models, we definitely will need in synthetic data, especially taking into account if we will need in some more advanced models related, for instance, with computer vision or natural language processing or generation, etc. But at the same time, they raised the question, so maybe earlier the question was, is this real, this data? Today we ask not is it real, but is it authentic? So the most important is to pay attention to authenticity of this data, that people who work with this synthetic data, first of all, should prove that we can trust this data, because it is about trustworthiness in artificial intelligence. Quite important topic today. Probably you know that now is under development the Act, Artificial Intelligence Act, European Act. The same activities are running in USA as well, and this topic is very related with this one as well. And last trend is related with new machines, new possibilities. So we expect to get, or will already have, next generation of computers which will help us to reshape industries like high-performance computers, quantum computers, and of course, quite interesting actually area like biology-inspired computers. We already started our experience with quantum computers together with Latvian University, and definitely it helped to improve and help to build more sophisticated and complicated models using new technologies. So if just to summarize, so 4 trends: web meme, programmable world, the unreal, meaning that we need to work with synthetic data, but to think about it if they're authentic, and new machines, new possibilities. And now I would like to move to my area, our area related with data science and machine learning. What kind of trends do we see today? Actually, I see that some of the trends were already presented today, but it looks so that they will play some more and more important role in the future. And I grouped these trends under 2 categories, like automation, acceleration, and getting an access to the platform, improve the access to the platform and data. I will touch some of the trends which were identified, and will start from automation. Of course, it's maybe not like a trend, it's like our reality. It is industrialization of machine learning model creation, where we have faced with merging of machine learning, data science, and DevOps. And we got new abbreviation like MLOps, and now we have new role, MLOps engineer. And what is interesting, that earlier we considered that data scientists should be capable to develop all should be capable to play all these roles, starting from data analysis, data preparation, model training, model containerization, deployment, etc., etc. But now we see the trend that actually there is demand to have separate role of MLOps engineer, which will provide services related with this process industrialization. Of course, it can help to automate this process. It can help to guarantee the quality. It can help to speed up the process of retraining, and of course it's related with acceleration, by the way. But maybe one topic I would like to highlight here, speaking about MLOps. Usually when we build the model, we consider MLOps, not like MLOps, but process of model creation, training, deployment, maintenance. We consider it like separate process. Data scientists perform some works related with it. At the same time, we have a business, we have, We have managers, we have directors who define the strategy, who define the KPIs. Also, there is business operations, and we serve this business. We deliver these models for the needs of this business. But this year, working in Accenture global level, we have came to conclusion that this approach is not so good actually, because actually data scientist or machine learning engineer should work together with business, and business should be involved in the MLOps process as itself. They should work together because on one hand, business should define the goals which should be achieved by these models. At the same time, service which we deliver could help this business, could improve this operations, and we will move from predictive modeling to the prescriptive modeling, where generate ideas how to improve this business. So the approach should be more comprehensive. We shouldn't be separated, otherwise this approach is not so efficient. Then the next trend related with automation, it is related with so-called transfer learning. Actually, nothing new in this area. So this practice exists, but maybe it makes sense still attract attention. And last years we were focused seriously to develop this approach, so-called transfer learning, when we use an existing models for new projects, for new cases. So basically, idea is that we can pre-train the models, we can create the repository or some collections of these models and apply them for the new problems. It can speed up the process of model development, accelerate it. It can help us if we don't have enough needed data, labeled data. Especially it's important when we speak about computer vision, where we need a lot of very good labeled pictures. And if you work with this area, I think you understand how difficult sometimes to get these labeled pictures, and how much time sometimes we need to spend to label these pictures. Then if we could reuse existing models, we could accelerate this process of training, and then probably we will not need in so many pictures to get needed quality of don't know, recognition or prediction or something like it. So this of course trend, how to say, is already our reality, and I think you also use it. And maybe last one, which was highlighted by Gartner, it's adaptive learning, that we should think not only about model training is itself, but we should think about model retraining. And ideally will be great this process to automate this model as receiving new data. This model from time to time should be retrained. There are many approaches how it can be run. One of them, it is including of human in the loop, which I used in my project some moment, building the model for decision-making automation, because someone should to control the behavior of the model. If we see that something happened and behavior of clients has been changed, then probably we need a human intelligence to improve, to indicate that there are mistakes, and we need to run the model retraining. Then few words I would like to say about data. Actually, I don't want to speak a long time about this problem related with access to the data. Just maybe one small fact related to drift to small data. I would say that probably last 10 years, mostly we were speaking about big data. Big data became like a buzzword in our environment, and of course we develop skills, we build models on using big data technologies. But actually recently we came to the fact that today we should work with small data as well. And there are several reasons. One of the reasons actually is related with COVID situation. We have faced that actually after the COVID, the behavior of customers, behavior of people has been changed. And in some moment we have realized the data which were collected outdated and cannot represent properly the behavior of customers. So the world was changed. We got new habits. The life was changed, and we came to the situation that actually data which were collected we cannot use anymore. And what do we have? We have small data. But small data it's not only about literally small data. It's also about small data when we consider some rare events or anomalies or frauds which were mentioned today in the first presentation. It's also about small data, and we still should be capable to work with them as well. And finally, a very interesting trend which was identified by Gartner, that actually today is a trend to develop personalized applications, personalized models, and it means that we will be focused on data related with some group of individuals or individual, and it means that data sample of course will be decreased, but it's small data. It doesn't mean that really small data, but it means that it's related with a very specific, how to say, individual which would like to model using some technologies. And areas of application, it can be something from Internet of Things. We collect data about some specific devices which are located in some specific area, and we need to build a model to predict behavior taking into account this specific information. It can be some personalized application or local business. Of course, I don't want to touch topic related with mathematical approaches related with work with small data, but quite interesting topic actually is related with approach how we'll train this model if we will have a lot of these models based on small data. If we'll create personalized models. There are two approaches. One approach is related with decentralized training of this model, and second one so-called federated, that on one hand we locally on local devices where we have local data related with some specific user, we train the model. We don't need to move this data somewhere in some server. We shouldn't collect them. And from this perspective, we don't have the problem with data privacy. And data model maybe will be small, but it will be trained on the specific data for the specific user. But if there will be need somehow to sync up the work of these models, then we can move models to the control model, to central model, and to update the central model. So we will move these models, we will not move this data. We don't aggregate any more data. We aggregate only models. And maybe last trend related with acceleration, of course, MLOps seriously help us to accelerate the process of model development and deployment. But at the same time, the second trend which was highlighted by Gartner, but actually we also see in our business, in our projects, the importance of synthetic data. So why do we need synthetic data? Actually, there are many reasons. One of the reasons related with small data, if we have small data, really small data, literally. So probably we need to generate, to synthesize new data on the basis of existing data. And first presenter tell us about this experience in fraud detection. The problem of imbalanced data, or if we don't have data at all, then we could apply these technologies of synthesization of new data, or the problem of confidentiality. When we cannot use data, maybe we, especially to relate it with banking area, financial area, and I, as a person who worked in banking area, know how difficult sometimes to get in the data. So confidentiality do not allow to need the data do not allow, or we should wait long time to get this data. Then, like possible solution this problem, we could generate this data synthetically. And of course we have data market. It's like today it's called like gold market of data. If it's needed, of course we can buy this data, but sometimes it can be quite expensive. That's why we can come to technologies which could help us to generate this data, and as a part of these technologies, we could consider some traditional sampling approaches, of course, generative adversarial network if we work with pictures, for instance, or we could simulate them using agent-based techniques. And in the coding Gartner prediction, by 2030, we expect that mostly we will use synthetic data instead of real data. And you see how that closely related with trend, which I have mentioned several slides ahead about previously about trends related with metaverse development, when we will need synthetic data, and of course we should think about how we can trust this data. And now maybe some use cases which will illustrate what we deliver in this area, in the area of data science and machine learning, taking into account these trends. Maybe the first example will be related with virtual reality. So we have a great such thing like we can make a choice. Usually we have some options, and on one hand it is a gift for us that we can make this, we have these options and we always can make this choice. But on the other hand, probably you know that actually it's also a problem because we need to make a decision. And sometimes it's quite painful to make this decision, especially if we speak about the dress or clothes. I think that women will understand this problem. Here we can see some statistics that 72% of women indicated that actually they experience the problem with size of the clothes of dress because we have different brands, we have different manufacturers, and varying them, sometimes quite difficult to find dress with proper size. But size is also not the biggest problem. Actually, there are quite a lot of additional problems related with dress selection. Interesting fact that that accuracy of online retailers' recommendations is not so good. In 50% of recommendations, they were wrong. More interesting fact that UK retailers taken 60 billion pounds in postal returns. I think that last year's formed these returns, because probably you also experienced this a process of dress buying using some online stores. And what we decided to try to create, we decided to create application, so-called fashion advisor, which could work in web environment or on mobile application, which could help you to choose the proper clothes, even if you operate in virtual environment. We used computer vision technologies and image augmentation, trying to apply different clothes, different sizes, and this application give recommendations and helped to choose the best one for you. The next example, the next use case will be related with decision-making automation. Actually, it was one of my projects where we have worked with a client who is responsible for managing the workflow of sensitive case data. So basically, they have a lot of customers who apply for some services. Unfortunately, I cannot share more information about these business processes. And decision making, it is their daily routine work. They receive a lot of requests for different kinds of services, and employees should analyze data, should analyze this request and make this decision. So they have approached to us to help to automate this process as much as it's possible, taking into account existing legislation, taking into account the complexity of this problem. And we have built the models, machine learning models, which could help to automate some decision making for some processes, and it could help to save the time and automate approximately 97% of decisions, which usually they should be done manually analyzing this data. Next example also illustrates the automation of our environment, where we have a lot of emails, we receive emails, electronic emails, paper emails, we have a lot of paper documents, and we need to automate these documents. Don't want to stay long time on this slide, because we have a lot of such projects related with these documents processing, analyzing, categorization, classification. We assume that we have many languages. In some cases we have 12 languages. In one use case there was a situation that in one email we could have several languages. Structure of these documents also can be different. In some cases it can be structured, in some cases unstructured. In some cases they can be standardized, in some cases not, but everywhere the same problem: a lot of emails, letters, documents which should be processed automatically. And what is the most important, they should decrease the queue of waiting of responses. Of course, machine learning, data science technologies help us to automate this process and help for the clients, and you can see that the accuracy was quite impressive. And maybe last example, which I will show you today, it is our great project. We cooperate with global automobile manufacturer, and as I mentioned you, they, if I correctly remember, they would like to, how to say, to go in live assembly lane, which could automated assembly lane, which could be controlled by digital twin model. And our guys work as a part of this project, and we already have delivered about 200 use cases, which could can help to identify some anomalies which they can observe on some stages of car assembly. And you can see here some specific use cases like plugs detection, detect the airbag, and check anomalies, and if it twisted or not, or detect the connection status as pushed or not pushed. And in some cases, all these examples are based on idea that there are installed cameras, and actually cameras were installed by our developers as well. We collect these pictures, we process these pictures, label these pictures, and then we train the model, which could help to identify some anomalies. And in some cases, like for example the first use case, unfortunately I cannot zoom in this picture, but when guys presented these pictures, actually it was really quite difficult to understand where do we have some problems, where not, so human eye cannot detect it. But our guys are capable to automate this process of this detection, and you can see here what kind of value we brought to the client depending on use cases. Some of them are measured on 10,000 euro, but some of them are measured in up to 1 million euro per year. So we already have developed 200 use cases related with this anomalous detection, and there is a plan to implement during next 5 years up to 1,200 additional use cases. So basically it is the movement to the virtual environment, it is movement to so-called digital twin model, which could help to automate all these processes and minimize the work of the people in this environment. So biggest part of this work will be automated using, including also of course machine learning and computer vision technologies. And maybe the last one, what makes sense to add here, of course we use computer vision technologies, but as usually in this area we experience the problem with pictures, we experience the problem with labeling of these pictures, and of course we use here generative AI technology, which help us to synthesize these pictures, which could improve the quality of training label data sample, which we need to train these models. Quite an interesting experience here, and guys already wrote the scientific paper, because they have developed new approaches of this model training, and quite experience in the work with this client. So it's just a few words about our examples, our use cases. If to summarize, of course, metaverse promise us that in the future, and maybe not even in the future, but even now, we will have quite a lot of work for data scientists and machine learning engineers, because the main trend related with automation and making the world more personalized, programmable and personalized under consumer needs. Thank you for your attention, and let's stay connection. You can find us in LinkedIn, and of course you can find us in the web.